Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy Icekold, and I am here with CTD interviews. I am here with the Shady sisters, Nellz and Trice. What is up?
Hello, Icekold. Welcome to
Yes.
Shade in the City, Icekold.
All right, so these sisters right here have a dope ass podcast or show. How do y'all call it? Do y'all call it a show? Do y'all call it a podcast? What do y'all call it?
We call it a show.
A show, yeah. Our channel.
Yeah. I see a lot of different stuff on there, but I mean, you guys have some great chemistry. I want to get into it. I kind of want to pick y'all brain a little bit on some stuff, but I'm really digging the channel. Y'all got all type of different episodes, and y'all talk about different things, and we gonna get into it. So, Nellz, Trice, one of you guys could take this question. Tell me about Shade in the City. That's the name of the channel. Tell me about Shade in the City. What is it?
So let me start off by saying that I, Trice, went to the Art Institute. I attended the Art Institute in Fort Lauderdale for broadcasting.
Okay.
So I always wanted to be in radio and TV. And you know how most of these programs go, where they guarantee you're going to get a job and it doesn't happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now in a totally different field in real life, right? But I just always felt, I was like, I need to find a way to tie in something I spent thousands of dollars on going to school for. I need to find a way to make this work into, even if it's a side hustle or just something that I love to do, a passion project. And we were just literally, she would come over, you know, that's my sister. We would sit around and talk about these shows and drink and give our commentary. And I actually went on YouTube and did my research. And I was like, oh my God, there's actually a niche for this. Like people want to hear. And I was like, it's just a matter if they want to hear us.
Right.
But I was like, people actually are going to YouTube for this and becoming popular and getting a following and making money off of their opinions.
Yeah, because if we wasn't doing it on YouTube, we'd still be doing it anyway. We
would be doing it anyway on our couch for free. So it was like, oh, why not make this a thing? And in the process of coming up with that idea, I found, oh, that's how you ended up using your broadcasting degree. Plus I also took, video production, editing, all that stuff when I was in school. So so I'm the person that edits and does all that. So I was able to use my talent that I paid for, right, to be able to, make it work for me later on in life. So I'm very thankful about that.
And I'm just the person that's on the show that says
you just the extra.
No, but I will say I can't do anything without my co-star.
I say a bunch of shit I'm not supposed to say.
She does, and I'd be like, oh my God, you shouldn't have said that. I'd be so worried.
And she edits most of it out.
And I edit most of it out. But the stuff that we can't say, but I will say, she allows me, because I'm too worried about what can get us canceled or what's too sensitive. She definitely allows me, if I can't say it, she's the bad cop.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
And she says what needs to be said, and we never try to say anything too offensive, but we always try to keep it real.
Got you. So that's so cool what you just said, because that's the mirror image of me. I went to school for video production. In high school, I was editing and I was producing. I was on a public access TV show called Hardcover.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like all that stuff growing up, I was, I was in it. I was doing it. I was behind the camera and a lot of times in front of the camera. Went on to college, did the same thing.
Right.
Film production, editing, and I'm talking about like non-linear editing. I'm talking about like before Avid and Final Cut Pro. I'm talking about using the little wheel, to edit 3/4 inch tapes.
Right. Now you see my beef with Max. I only use them for production. Outside of that, I can't stand a Mac.
Yeah,
she doesn't understand why I hate Apple so much. And I said, I learned it in college.
It's weird. So trying to do this show and editing and stuff like that, I realized I can't use a Mac because I went out and bought this really expensive MacBook and it can't handle what I do. So I had to build my own computer. I think I was telling you guys that in the beginning. So, but I mean, that is so cool for you to say that, because it is almost the mirror image of me. I went to school and did all this, and you talked about money. I didn't spend a lot of money. I went to a school in the city, but I spent a lot of time, and I'm not, I'm not doing a lot of the stuff that I did when I was younger. And this is therapeutic. What we do for me is therapeutic.
Absolutely.
Editing is therapeutic. So I've ran my mouth enough. I'm sorry. I just got excited when you said.
No, we love it. We love it. I was like, I don't want to get on here and ask you too many questions and you start to feel like you're being interviewed.
You know what? I like these interviews to be a conversation. So it's a back and forth. If I have to talk, it's fine, but I try not to dominate the conversation because I'm known to do that.
I love that you're sharing that because I love feeling like it's not just me. Because I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this is how she used it, but it's like, no, that's how I had to use it because I wasn't getting to work, I wasn't getting the jobs unless you want to be an intern and wait and work for pennies.
Right. See, that's what happened to me. That's what soured me from the job as being beat out for jobs and having contracts in and people not even saying they just it kind of discouraged me from it. But what I found out, I was missing it the whole time. 20 years later, find out I was missing it the whole time. I love editing. I could stay up all night to 4 a.m. just editing. It is something therapeutic about it. Enough about me. Let's get back to Shade in the City. How did it start? Like, when did you guys say, okay, this is what we're going to do? How did it start?
That was
basically it. But honestly, what I'm going to tell you is so this one, it's hilarious. She doesn't even actually like watching reviews. It's literally me.
Okay.
And so, like I said, I did my research and I got really hooked on Tasha K, just her style of interviewing, just how direct she was, and Bondi Blue. I don't know if you've ever heard of her. She's a young lady out of New Orleans. But they're just the things that they talk about and how they uplift women at the same time while being shady and talking shit. That it was just like, how do you give a positive message at the same time being shady? And I loved it.
Tell me about it all the time. Oh my God. So I watched the shows that she was watching reviews on.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, I saw the show and she know exactly what I was talking about. Oh yeah, Bonnie.
I wouldn't even watch them. I would just watch the reviews and I could talk to her about what happened in the show.
Bonnie told me this and this happened. I'm like, yeah, I'm not about to watch nobody's review because I got my own opinion.
Right.
I don't need to watch nobody else's opinion. So
that's kind of actually how it started because she was like, I'm tired of you coming to me telling me about other people's opinions. And we really did have our own opinions.
Because I know I felt, she's like, well, they feel this way about it. Okay, well, I feel this way. And we used to just, like I said, sit around. I would come over here. We would drink, talk, and like people actually laugh at us because everybody else would be outside doing their own thing. And me
and we would be in a whole conversation about a show.
In our own little world.
Something that happened.
Okay.
And be for hours.
Hours. Like they'd be like, really, there's a whole cookout going on and y'all really, and then whoever watched the show, they'd be in on it. But everybody else be like, really?
And we'd be here like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
We sitting here talking about Married at First Sight this long? Like, is this what we're doing?
Wow. So let me ask you.
Actually, when we first got started, we used to record literally till like 5 o'clock in the morning because we would get so passionate talking about these shows. A lot of it got edited out, but
then that became the hard part.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, this is an hour show. Why is this review 2 hours?
We would get so passionate.
I gave up.
You're trying to decide what's good footage, what's bad footage, what can you use without messing up the, what is it? Congruency of the whole thing.
Right,
and like,
continuity.
Continuity. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
That's wow. So I gave up on that, trying to dictate time and stuff like that. One podcast I think we did last month was 40 something minutes. The next podcast was the last podcast was 2 hours. I gave up. It's no way you could just kind of,
So let me ask you, how do you handle that? Because I've found that most of our video, it's weird. So depending on, for example, we review 90 Day Fiance, and that's an hour and a half show.
Okay.
Or Married at First Sight.
Or Married at First Sight, which is an hour and a half show,
or
sometimes 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We try to get it down to at least an hour if it's an hour, 30-minute show. But the editor, my good place would be 45 minutes. And then when you have 41-minute shows, I'm trying to have that 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Because we did notice that
longer, people don't like to stay longer.
Exactly.
Is what I'm
we
noticing.
get more views when it's shorter.
But here's the thing with
we
YouTube, it's
living in
not
a
about the views
microwave
though.
era.
Right.
They want
Well,
to
you-
pop it in, see it, and go. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah. With YouTube, it's not about the views, it's about the watch time.
Which
That's what they look at. That's
Yeah.
really what they look at. How long are people watching your videos? So the smaller videos, yeah, they'll do good, but what could they, can they really give you the watch time that you're looking for? So it's a give and take to it.
But is it watch time, like, depending on how long your video is, or is it just
watch time?
Just watch time.
It's just the watch hours.
And that would make sense because
Yeah.
that's why probably 90 Day is doing the best because it's the longest show that we do.
Do you guys have what is this thing called? It's called YouTube. Hold on, let me look for it.
I want
YouTube Studio.
Yes, I have YouTube.
Yeah,
Studio.
so that'll give you all your stats. So that
Right
right there will give you all your stats on how your video is doing. I like I said, I believe they're looking at how many watch hours are you getting. Some smaller videos can get a lot of watch hours, but billions of people got to watch it. So. But I wanted to ask y'all how many videos are y'all well, not videos, but how many TV shows are y'all doing reviews on?
It really depends on what's out at the time.
What's out at the time. So we're trying to stay consistent with Married at First Sight, and they stay back to back to back to back to back seasons. So I think that's what I was telling you when you were talking about interviewing. I was like, we're just ending a show. So we probably may have 2 or 3 weeks where we don't have to film on a Wednesday night. And then we're right back at it every Wednesday night, Married at First Sight until they end.
And 90 Day Fiance is just ongoing.
And 90 Day Fiance, they have so many franchises. So it's, Before the 90 Days, Happily Ever After, so many franchises that keeps us consistent on Sundays.
We just got a break from Ready to Love.
Right. We just got a break from Ready to Love.
Yeah, it depends on what's out.
It just depends on what's out and what our audience.
So it is predominantly like reality TV.
Yeah.
Yes, it's predominantly reality TV, relationship, love shows.
The only scripted one.
Scripted one Power and Force.
Ooh. Let's talk about Power.
I think Power. I think Power.
Power did really for our first scripted show, and I even told her, and I know you don't do reviews, but I even told her, I said I noticed in the beginning, our thing was kind of not off, but it wasn't the same. And I was like, I told her, I said, I didn't realize there was such a difference between scripted TV and reality TV. Now, even though they set up situations and it is kind of scripted in reality TV, it's very different than when you have this is what happens, this is what happens, this is, you know what I mean? And trying to make that exciting for the viewer.
Okay.
So Power was actually a challenge for us, being honest, when we first started. And it ended well. Like, we ended the season, people loved it. Like, we gained a lot of our views and viewers off of. I'm sure most of our males came from Power, from us reviewing Power.
So, are y'all doing like this? Was this the old Power, like the Power?
No, this is the Ghost Power that just left. Like, when they come back on, we'll be doing Power again.
You got y'all. Hey, I'm all about that. I like the Ghost Power Ghost.
Right.
I like Power, and I like the Tommy one. Did y'all see the Tommy one?
We did. So you know what's so funny? The support was. So that's another thing about being a YouTuber. You have to realize when it's, especially because it's your time, you have to realize when it's not going nowhere. So maybe you may like it, but if you're not getting the views that you need to keep you going to do it, and I
love Tommy.
We did.
So I told Trice, I was like, we're doing Force.
Right. And we did it, but we didn't get the same love that we got from Power.
Got you. I think it's I'm from Chicago, so there's like a link there.
Right,
so,
right.
So there's a link there.
Well, I was gonna say you can watch it up to episode 8, but we didn't even finish the season.
But yeah, I like that one. But a lot of people don't like the Ghost one. I know a lot of people that just say they wasn't feeling it. I like it.
I know why.
Can I tell you why?
Because they don't like the little boy. But I like the little boy. That little boy's smart.
I had an issue. You can ask her when it first came back on.
But it was good.
I would not watch it. I would not watch it.
She had to catch up because
I had to catch up just so I could review it. Season 2, because I was like, I don't want to go in there ignorant and not know what happened season 1. But I was so upset behind Raina getting killed that I just could not forgive this little boy. I really couldn't. I admit it to you.
And a lot of people are upset that, he killed his daddy.
Right. And you killed the daddy. So I'm just done. I'm just done. And then
he was annoying. He was annoying on the regular Power, that Power's book 1. But damn it, this little boy is cunning as shit on like he outsmart everybody.
Right.
Everybody he outsmart. He's like a step ahead of everybody. But I really like the show. And also I like the wardrobe.
Did you watch the last season?
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, let me ask you this question. I'm sorry not to cut you off. Did you know when I don't know if you remember the episode, because this is what I'm talking about, actually being a viewer, but then actually having to like display the content for other people. Okay. So did you know that when he walked into the classroom, I think it was like maybe the episode 7 or 8, and he walked into the classroom and all the dead people was carrying.
That was coming back to like
haunt him. Was coming back to haunt him. And when Lauren walked up, I said, oh, I didn't even catch it. And one of our this is why I love YouTube. One of our viewers posted in the comments and was like, she's dead. That's why she was there. Everybody in the room was dead. She's gonna die.
He walked out the classroom and he met her in the hallway.
But see, I didn't catch that.
I gotta go. I'm probably a little lost to the sauce. I gotta go back and see I don't remember that scene. I've seen all of them, but I just don't remember that scene.
It's when it's like an opening scene when he first walks in and he's like waking up from a dream,
everybody
he bumped into
surrounding him, and he's walking out the classroom,
and Lauren pops up.
So Lauren is the girl he was dating in the class.
The girlfriend, yes.
He got like 3 girlfriends.
In the hallway
he got like 3 of them
in the hallway, and it was because she was dead. Because remember, he didn't know what happened to her
because she was missing.
Right. Okay.
So it's little stuff like that we try to catch to break down for the viewer if they haven't realized. But it's also, like you said, it's a conversation, because it's awesome when our viewers be like, nah, that's not right. Y'all didn't catch that. And you know how YouTube is. They gonna tell you.
And you be like, oh,
I didn't see that. So it starts up a whole conversation.
That's cool. Were y'all one of those people that thought Ghost really wasn't dead? But
no, I knew he was dead. I still wasn't here for his son killing him. I just wasn't.
No, there were people out there thinking he wasn't dead and he was gonna show up and
like I was one of those people. He a little boy. I'm making excuses for his ass.
And so my theory, I think Kane is really his daddy.
I could see that because I
just noticed every time
Tasha hated. Tasha hated.
It was a lot of animosity,
and they never really explained why she hated him as much as she hated him.
Let me ask you
this could be true.
Since we're on Stars, and she feeling some type of way about the other ones. Well, she hasn't watched them, but have you watched Raising Kanan?
No, I haven't started that one yet.
I haven't either.
I love that show.
I'm gonna start it. I have them recorded, but
have you watched BMF?
Yes.
How do you feel about BMF?
I like BMF.
I haven't watched BMF.
BMF is good.
So the thing is, I was trying to get her on it because we lived in Miami for a little while, right?
And that's all we heard about when we first moved to Miami was BMF. BMF, be careful, BMF.
That's all we heard about, BMF. So watching the show and kind of, learning the history of BMF, because I think they had just got arrested or something like that by the time we moved down there. So being able to see the history of BMF, it's like, this is pretty dope. Like, I don't know. I thought it was dope.
That's cool. Yeah. All right, let me backtrack. We done got way off the beaten path, but it's cool. I like this shit.
I'm talkative.
And like I said, I like for this to be a conversation. So hey, it is what it is. But I do want to ask. So are you guys real sisters? I'm sorry. Are you guys sisters in real life? Are you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are. I keep saying guys. You are real sisters.
It's okay. You guys.
Yeah. Do you guys find doing the show as sisters, like, is that challenging, or is that what tell me about that? Like, how is it?
Let me get my paper out.
So what I said was, because we are sisters.
Okay.
You know how you work in an office with like coworkers, and you got to come across professional and be nice and get, convey what you want to say.
There's none of that. There's none of that.
Bitch, you slacking, or what the fuck is up, or no, there's none of that.
There's none of that. There's no coof
at all.
There's no professionalism. I will say for me, it obviously as you can tell from watching the videos, the flow is easier.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
I'm not even gonna lie. I guess I'm giving you a compliment, kind of, sort of.
I guess I give you a compliment.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of times where we're filming, and it's not like and you can even watch it while we're filming. It's not even like I plan. I'll say something and she just piggybacks off that, and it just flows, and it's we don't think this out before we go to record. Like, it's literally just us flowing off of each other.
And
I could tell.
Also, sometimes like she might be having an off day or I'm having an off day, and we kind of just notice it. Nobody where it's like the other person has to pick it up.
Exactly.
And
you know what I mean?
And we will. We don't know. Nobody has to say it. Nobody has to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm having an off day.
Right.
Or I'm
we just
tired
know.
or whatever. You know what I mean? The other one is just like, all right, well, you know what? Like,
I'll do most of the scenes, and that's, as we said, that wouldn't happen in a normal work environment.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I could see just a really good chemistry that you guys have. Like, I was watching one, and it was like an intro, and you guys were like finishing each other's. It was like y'all were going back and forth. I don't know if that was planned or not, but if it wasn't,
no, that's what I'm saying. We don't plan anything that we do. We
guys
literally,
like
when we film.
That's why she edits so much,
right? Because we do not plan anything that we do. Everything is off the boom. What you say is what you say, and and it just flows.
And let's not get it twisted. We sisters, so we still getting arguments too.
I was gonna say, there's been times when we be sitting here, we can't even film because I'm mad.
She mad, and I'm like, I'm gonna need you to get your energy correct,
right?
Before we get, this was literally the conversation,
right? Yes, it's like, and I be sitting here like, I don't want to film no more.
She's like, I don't remember what you said, but I was like, okay, so what
we can disagree on scenes, what happened in the scene. It's amazing. That's the only, I would say that's the only negative, because at the end of the day, we're still gonna be sisters, and we don't know how to let shit go.
And it's like, then our hour recording turns into 4 because we arguing and somebody got an attitude and can't get over it. And
I'll take that.
And we ain't about to start recording again until it's gone. And we look like we was when we paused.
Right.
Okay.
We paused.
So
and also, let me not say that. A lot of the times too, it's hard because not only are we sisters, but we're best friends.
Okay. So
a lot of the times when we're supposed to be filming,
that's true.
we end up having sidebars, talking for 2 hours about nothing that has nothing to do with the show, and then being like, "Oh yeah, we're supposed to be reviewing this show, and we got to come back." So that's hard too, because they're like, "It's 4 a.m. and now we got to talk about the show."
But when the hell did we leave off?
Oh, right. So, but it does make it fun. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, honestly.
Don't do it with nobody. Like I said, the chemistry you guys have is just amazing. I really dig it. I think that right there is like my favorite part of watching when I do come across your guys' show, when I get that notification and I check it out. Yes, I've been a subscriber.
Notification bell.
Yes, I did. That bell is a hit. Ring a ding ding. All right, so I want to ask you guys this: who's your target audience? Where are you trying to? Who is your audience? Like, who do you think is watching?
I mean, any man, any woman, right now between the ages of 35 and 50 is what we've seen. But we want to target
everybody. Okay.
That's why we try, and I don't know if you've noticed, we've tried to get into the entertainment news, because I feel like that's relative to everybody kind of wants to know what's getting into. The problem is when you have to do so many shows, it's hard to stop, and because news is consistent, it's constant. You know what I mean? So it's hard to stop and be like, oh, we got to do this news thing, when it's like, oh, but we have all these other shows, because our news portion is called Sip and Shade.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay,
right.
You saw spilling all that tea.
You saw ain't that many videos of that.
Right. And that's just because having a hard stop to be like, no, we're only going to do this today, when we have so many shows on the roster, it makes it difficult. But I think that's definitely one of the goals within the next year, is just picking that up, because I feel like we will get more viewers when, even if you don't watch the show, you may just want to hear us and hear our commentary on, current events.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. So who's Trice? Are you planning the show?
What happened?
Are you planning the show? Like, do you arrange the show and the topics and things like that, or?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, really, with the reviews, we don't really have to arrange the topics. We just go by how the show goes. Gotcha. Now with the news, the event news, absolutely. So I will be very careful, and I don't know how you feel as a content creator, But I know me, I'll always tell her, I try to stay away from anything that's too messy. She'll be like, let's talk about it. And I'll be like, no.
We shady, ain't we?
So as you can see, we have a battle, internal conflict when it comes as sisters, because she wants to be more shady. And I'm like, I want a channel that is love and light and peaceful. And then you're laughing at me.
But we shady.
I'm not laughing. It's, you know what? Because it's so opposite of what I do on my channel. What was that?
I said, but we shade in the city.
We can be shady, but we ain't got to cause the commotion. So my whole thing is, I just
don't throw shade at light and love.
Okay, don't do that. So my whole thing is, I just never want to stir the pot too much. I want to get a conversation going, absolutely.
Okay.
But I want it to be a positive conversation. Does that make sense?
See, like I don't care.
And she doesn't care. She's here for the smoke.
She want all the smoke.
Right. She want all. If it gets us views and subscribers, she wants the smoke. And I'm not there yet.
I got you. So like when it comes to my channel,
you want a conversation? I'm here for the conversation.
So on our channel, on our podcast, we talk about anything. So most of the time we talking about nerd shit, video games, computers, wrestling, and we talking about all type of shit, sports. Mm-hmm. But like some things I find you can't ignore. Like when the gunman shoot up a bunch of kids or go into a grocery store, I find it hard for me to do a show and talk about anything besides that. So we kind of talk about everything on our show. Nothing's out of bounds.
I would be on this show.
So I was just gonna say that. I personally try to stay away from the R word, which I know you've been on YouTube long enough to know what the R word is. Mm-hmm. I try to stay away from death if I really can. Usually if we're giving commentary on current events, we usually try to make it funny,
like
but at the
celebrity news or
but at the same time, like I remember one day, and I didn't even post it because it was so long. I went on a rant about Kanye, and it was like an hour and a half.
We probably got like 20 rants about
Kanye.
Missed the old Kanye.
You missed the old Kanye. It was literally like an hour and a half, and I was just like, and then Nick Cannon and his 50 kids. That was about, and like there's some stuff where I'm just like, you can post.
Oh, I was going back and forth with you on that one. Oh, that's why it was so long, because we were going back and forth on both of those. I remember those.
And then sometimes if it takes me too long to edit and the news is old by then and everybody's talked about it, then I'm like, is it really worth putting out?
That's another reason why like we haven't really kept up with it, because by the time we get to it, the news is old. Then it's like there's no point in putting it out.
That's another thing, yeah.
And then we just kind of wasted our time
to
record it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I got you. Yeah. Sometimes like because we try to do two main shows a month, and like by the time it ain't even fresh no more, it's not even worth talking about. Let's just move on. What you drinking on? Wait. Go back.
I'm drinking Pinot Grigio, sir.
Ooh,
drinking Prosecco, sir.
Oh, y'all fancy. I'm drinking Kirkland's water out of
Ain't nothing wrong with a little H2O.
All right, so let me ask y'all a question. What role, if any, do you think your channel plays in the Black community?
Go ahead, boo.
So, I mean, we're Black.
She said we Black. We black, y'all.
And we're giving our Black perspectives, you know, to the public.
Okay. There you go.
And our Black perspectives are super important. I mean, to everyone.
So let me tell you what one of our viewers said that actually commented, and I thought was beautiful. And this let me know that we were on the right path. So one of our viewers said, you know, I love watching y'all. Y'all make me laugh. You also make me feel like I'm just sitting around a table with one of my homegirls.
I can see that.
And so
like we was in the beginning.
Right. And a lot of these shows that we watch, 90 Day Fiance, Married at First Sight, you really, if you go on YouTube for real, and you look at the reviews, it's not a lot of us reviewing shows like this, right? So it's nice to give a Black woman's comment and how you view things. And our viewers appreciate that. They're like, girl, yeah, we thought that was crazy, whatever. You know what I mean? Because they can just relate to you. And that's all we're here for. Just like I said, we're just here for a conversation.
Okay. I like that. I like that answer. Okay. That's cool. That's what's up. Let me ask you this. So, how long have you been doing? How long have y'all channel been
We
out?
started in like November. I want to say late
Yeah, we started
October,
posting.
early November. So we started posting like November of
Because we
Okay.
actually
2021.
started.
So still brand new. Y'all still in that first year.
Yes, we're still in the first year.
Still
We
in the first
actually
year.
started recording end of September, and she can tell you she was aggravated with me. I would not post anything. I was like, this is just I would tell her we were posting it, and I was literally making it like a rehearsal.
That was the 5 a.m. days.
Right. That was the 5 a.m. days because I was like, we got to get this right. We got to get this right. And I literally made her keep recording.
I remember them days.
Right.
So it was a lot of trial and error because also,
because we picked up on the mistakes before we actually got to YouTube, which is what I wanted to do. And even then, we're, as you know, you still learn.
You're still learning. Like you still, if you look up how the way my show looked first episode versus now,
right,
looks totally different. But then when I see other people's stuff, I'm like, I'm still not there yet.
Right.
I'm still not there yet. So it's gonna be a long ride.
Right, we ain't got there yet.
All right, so what do y'all see Shade in the City in the next 5 years?
With endorsements.
Ooh,
with endorsements.
Yes.
Like 500,000 subscribers.
Hey,
we like,
you know,
the goal is to be at 500K if we could, if not further than that. But yeah, that's really the goal, and just to be able to get people on to interview. As you can see, I'm very talkative, so I think that I think that I just have a cool, like, where I can bring something out of people that as long as they're open, I'm not gonna ask you nothing. You know what I mean? Too crazy where I just want to get what I can out of you, and I'm gonna make it more like a conversation than an interview. If that makes sense.
She be for somebody who don't want to, cause no drama. She be pushing the envelope. Okay.
Okay. Let's go rapid fire. Because you guys are answering. I like the way y'all answer questions because I have all these follow-up questions and y'all are answering right in there. So we just breezing right along. Let's do some rapid fire questions. And
I do have a question for you though. But
go ahead. Let's go.
But it's about current events, so we can wait till after.
All right, cool. We can do that. All right, so rapid fire. Can you guys guess each other's favorite episode?
Oh, episode or show?
Favorite episode.
Show.
So hear me out.
Okay.
I chose shows that we are actually not reviewing, but I can guess her favorite show because we don't review it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it's either P-Valley or Pose. Yes, I know you. She was like, what? Because I wouldn't tell her before we did the interview. I said, I just know you. And she was like, what? And she was thinking hard about mine.
Nellz,
because I thought it was shows that we were reviewing.
It could be both. All right. So let me ask you. Okay. So shows that y'all do like, what's your favorite episode? I'll go back to my original one. What is your favorite episode? What do you think Nell's favorite episode is?
That's gonna be hard because I don't even know my favorite episode.
I think her favorite episode, and see, I guess this would be mine, so that's not accurate. But we
did so many shows,
right? But I think her favorite episode would be Alyssa and I'm a Good Person.
Which that's so many episodes,
and that's Married at First Sight. So
that's yours,
right? I was gonna say that's really mine, but
okay. That's cool.
But I already said her shows are P-Valley and Pose, which we.
What are your shows?
I think her show is one that we don't review. Is Sister Wives.
I like that. I like that crazy shit.
She actually got me. Let me tell you something.
I like that crazy shit.
Let me tell you.
I don't know how they do it, and I love it.
Let me tell you something. How long is it on?
What is that the one where it's like? And I may be wrong. I'm sorry. It's like a guy and he got like 4 different wives.
4 wives, yes.
Okay.
And they all live they used to all live together in one house, but
how many years that show been on?
That show's been on for 8. Well, let me tell you what happened. The pandemic happened.
Okay.
And I caught one episode on TLC, and then I was like, I started binging, and I didn't realize they were like 14 seasons in. When I tell you, I finished like 14 seasons in a week.
I thought she was watching
Jeez, what did you go to work? Did you?
No, it was a pandemic. I was.
Oh,
out,
that's right.
I was
You did say it was a pandemic. Okay, yeah, everybody was at home.
No, it was the pandemic that made me start watching.
Was those 5-minute episodes?
But then later they had their pandemic.
Right. I was hooked. I was obsessed.
I
got her on. I said, you need to watch this.
I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested.
She was like, this is stupid.
I was like, why the hell I want to watch some goddamn people having a relationship with all these women? No, I'm not interested. It was great. And then she got me on it.
She got you on it. Okay.
She got me on it, yeah.
All right. Next question. And I'll go on Nellz for this one.
All right.
Who would be your celebrity interview? Like if you were to interview a celebrity on your channel on Shade in the City, who would you interview?
Oh, that's easy.
Who's that?
Tasha K.
Okay.
Because I want to reach that level. I want to reach that level.
So you want to pick her brain?
Yep, I want to pick her brain.
Okay.
And I want to know what the hell she was thinking.
Okay.
And we know, like, you know what I'm talking about, but Trice didn't want to talk about it, so I ain't gonna get into it.
Is that the same?
We know she owes some money now.
I ain't got it.
Is it the same for you? Is it the same for you?
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Is it the same for you? Your celebrity?
Honestly, it is Tasha K, but for me,
okay,
I would prefer if I could interview Pharrell.
Really? Why? What is it about Pharrell?
With that man?
That and or Lorenz Tate. Or the Lorenz Tate.
Because she in love with that man. What does that have to do with our channel?
Because
well, you know what they say about us Chicago, man. All right.
I was not saying. No, honestly, I've loved Pharrell, but he's so multifaceted. He does so many things from music to like. I feel like you would have a great conversation with him and get a lot out of him. Now Lorenz Tate, he's been on Power, as you know.
Yep.
So and I just love Lorenz Tate. Like it would never stay on Power. I'd have to go to Love Jones.
Let me tell you something. Her boo would never let neither one of those happen.
No, he would shut that down.
Shut it down. All right. What's the coolest thing about being content creators?
I can tell you.
What's that?
Using it when we out. Trice is good for that shit. Oh, this was horrible service, and we're YouTubers, and we're gonna put this on our channel.
You dropped the YouTuber. Wait. Have you ever dropped the YouTuber card? Like I'm a YouTuber.
All the time.
Really?
No. Okay, hold on.
She does it all the time.
We got it. If you heard the Outback story, you would understand why. We went to Outback in Largo.
Before Outback. You was using it before Outback.
And they gave us terrible service. She had a sticker in her French onion soup, like off of fruit.
Off a squeezy, a lemon squeezy thingy.
In her French onion soup. It was awful. The service was awful. Then when I told the girl we're YouTubers, she said, can you put me on there and tell them how great your service was?
Wow. You dropped the YouTuber card.
All the time.
Oh, absolutely.
She does it all the time. And look,
hold on. You have to understand, first of all, we used to live in Miami. Okay. So dropping who you know, your name, what you do, that's a thing.
That's a thing.
Second, okay. I used to be a concierge in DC. So you have to drop names who you know, to get people in places
for a property?
To navigate.
For where? Where did you used to be a concierge from?
At the Omni Shore.
Okay, cool.
Let me tell you something. And I just sit there like.
And see, but the thing about it is, he can tell you, I'm not that girl. I never want to complain. I never want to. But when I need to, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop that card.
You dropping that card?
She drops that.
See, the most I ever do in public, I got this thing right here. This little wristband, right? You can't really see it. It's called Popple.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't even be talking about it. They ain't paying me. But
okay. But I know that's right.
But
endorsements.
Right. So when I'm like, I'll be out and I'll be talking to someone. I'll be like, oh yeah, I got a YouTube channel, and like if they touch this or put the phone near this bracelet, all my social medias will just pop up on their phone and they can subscribe from that. I mean, so yeah, I kind of grind a little bit. Like I said, to get my subscribers, I'm word of mouth and I'm out in the street. And
how we do that?
Where we get
it's a little thing. I got it off Amazon. You get it off Amazon, and you know.
And what you just like registered and like
mm-hmm. It's an app. Yeah, it's an app.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I'm out and I'm talking to people, they can get my stuff right there.
Look,
And
we need to give those as giveaways too to our subscribers.
There you go.
Make sure you stay subscribed.
Yeah. Hopefully they see this and then they give me a commercial and then I got an endorsement. You know?
Right.
All right. Last question. What's one new thing you guys have learned about each other since doing the show together? Is there anything you just, I didn't know you were like that? Has it ever been anything like that?
Work ethic.
Okay.
Because doing YouTube is not easy. It looks easy when you watch other people do it, but it takes a lot of dedication and it is time consuming. Okay, we both got full-time jobs. We both got families, and this is really like another full-time job. So we both have realized. Okay. Our work ethic. Okay. Like it's a lot.
Yeah. Somebody told me something a few weeks ago, and they told me nobody will care about your dream as much as you do.
Right.
And that hit home. Even people I was doing a show with, I could see that, it just didn't mean as much to them as it did to me. So when you say like hard work and dedication, and this is a second job, it is. Even my own girl will look at me like I'm crazy. Like, why?
My dude, he the one that did the sign, but still be looking at me like, you doing what till 5 in the morning?
You know what's so funny? So literally, when I was thinking, I was like, okay, when I get off of work, right, I get time like to, maybe go cook dinner real quick, take a quick nap, something like that. And then I have YouTube and we record normally at night, right?
Right.
But
Me too.
That's not true.
Right?
That's not true.
Literally, it's like me texting her. So you got dinner done? Did you get the kids in bed?
But
Can we record now?
While we're cooking dinner, while we got the kids,
we're watching TV.
We're watching it,
taking notes,
so that we can record it for later. So literally, and sometimes while we're working, we're doing screenshots. It's literally like an all day thing. So it goes on longer than our actual job.
Right.
Yes.
And look,
because
we're not getting paid for it yet.
I was about to say, and right now it's free because we ain't got subscribers.
Ain't made a dime yet. I ain't made a dime yet. I done spent all this money building this computer. I got all type of equipment. Time just invested and ain't seen a dime. But like I said, all this to me is therapeutic.
Right.
This is therapeutic to me.
Exactly.
This is how I get to the next day. This is medicine for me. And I like I said,
now you made me have 2 questions for you.
Okay, all right, we got it. But yeah, like I just want to get back to what we were talking about. But yeah, this is gonna take years. This is something that's gonna take years for us all to get through.
Right.
But at the end of the day, right now we're working for other people's dreams.
Right.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, I like the exhale. Let me do one.
The goal is for YouTube to be the job.
Yeah.
Endorsements.
And then even then, once you get in YouTube, you got to make your way out and because if YouTube shuts you down, you got to have a website or you got to have a backup channel or anything.
This is all true. Those are playing. That's playing C&D though.
Right. It's like I gotta get enough followers on my regular channel first before I can ask y'all to follow a backup.
All right. So before we get out of here, you said you had some questions for me. Let's go.
So I got some current events I just want your male opinion about.
Okay.
And just shoot them off you. So what is your opinion on the Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan breakup?
I don't know too much about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know too much about it. I think he was a good dude. I think he was just looking for a family. Do
you think it was cause for breakup?
Because the word on the street that she wasn't ready to settle down.
But here's the thing. But ain't that what the majority of women are out there looking for? Someone who is goal oriented, someone who is about it, someone who's trying to build a family. Ain't that what most women are out here looking for? And she had it
and said no.
And said no.
So maybe
this is why it's important to date. I mean, this is literally the example for everyone. This is why you should date. This is why you should date before jumping in, because you don't know who you with. You don't know who you with. He seemed like a good dude for every. I mean, it was no, nothing. It didn't seem like it was not anything negative on her side, other than she just wasn't ready to do that yet. But
she's been engaged before. That's what I found to be interesting. She was engaged when she was younger. So I was like, so it's not that you don't know what it entails or what the step is or what it means to you. So what is it? It makes me wonder what is about him that we don't know as the audience that made you say, I'm just not ready.
it could just, I mean, for all we know, and I say this on our show all the time, we don't know these people.
Right, we don't.
We only get what they allow us to have.
Right.
So, I mean, it could be a thing where she just, like you said, she was engaged before, and maybe she don't want to go through that again. But at the same time, I see his point of view. He want to, how often do you hear a man actually say, "I'm ready to be"?
And not even that. It's not like he did it with everybody else. He ain't been seen with nobody else. It was literally just her. And he was like, "You're the one. I want to do this." And she's like, "No, I'm good.
I'm good." I mean, this is like, I don't know. It's weird because this is what you hear most women say they want.
Right.
And for somebody
so that's why I asked you, because she's getting a lot of flack on, well, this is what women pray for, and it's Michael B. Jordan. But then the other side is like, well, why should, if she's 25, she got money. She doesn't have to settle for Michael B. Jordan.
This is
true.
She's
not ready. She's not ready.
She got money. But so there's another dynamic to it. I can't fault anybody for this. Again, I don't know these people.
Right.
A woman could be whatever she want to be, do whatever she want to do, be with whoever she want to be with, or be inside of whatever relationship she deemed necessary or what works for her. So I can't sit there and pass judgment on her because that's what she wants. It's too many people out here trying to tell other people what they should have just because that's what you should have. But at the same time, I still
after Future though. I mean, Michael B. Jordan is kind of an upgrade. It's like this is like Future and Russell Wilson. I mean,
it was your time to come up. That was your prayer. That was your Sierra prayer, girl.
Because it's not all about the money and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, do you really think another Russell Wilson is going to come by anytime soon? Do you really think another Michael B. Jordan is going to come around soon?
I don't know, man. I think it's so weird. I just think it's so weird. He's going to end up with another Future.
And he's for the streets.
For the streets.
For the streets.
But no, in a nutshell, I just can't. I don't know. I mean, it's weird because it just, from my perspective, it is weird just a little bit because that's what it seems like most women want. But at the same time, not everybody wired the same. She might not just want that. She might just, be cool with where they at, So, I mean, it is what it is. I ain't passing judgment on nobody.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, second question. I like questions. Second question.
What are your feelings on this whole Monique and DL drama?
I don't know nothing about that. You know what?
So you want me to fill you in because
yes, because we were supposed to talk about that on. We were supposed to talk about that on. It was either this podcast or the podcast before that, and I skipped it because we had so many topics, so it didn't get in the show. So I didn't do my research. So tell me what's going on with that.
So apparently, Monique came out. She did the whole rant on stage while she was on the thing with DL about her contract. That wasn't the thing. That's not even the worst of what she did. So after she does that, her and her husband, which I think something's wrong with him, but that's just my business. I'm sorry. So her and her husband go on live and they talk about how they reference an interview where DL was talking about how they were talking about Bill Cosby in the interview. It was with, I'm not sure if it was Breakfast Club or somebody, or maybe it was Sway, but they were referencing an interview and they showed clips of it where he was like, my daughter came to me and told me that, somebody touched her. And I felt like, basically I didn't believe him. And they were talking about in reference to the Bill Cosby thing. Cause you know how a lot of people came out and they were like, we can't believe it. It's Bill Cosby. So he was using that story and he was like, and I regret doing that. Monique uses that to go on a live and say, see what this man did to his daughter. And you see how he treats his daughter and his wife, and he's not protecting Black women. And it was just I think her husband's crazy. And I think it's fucked up to take a young girl's trauma. your beef is with her daddy.
That and it
Right.
sounds like he
And
learned from it.
you brought right. And but she brought back the trauma. So DL came back with his daughter on his radio show, and they had their things to say, but it's really interesting. And he was like, I'm not, but he was like, he said, Precious, you're living that. You are that bitch. Like, you're miserable, you're evil. Yeah, he said that.
Damn.
He was like, because who does that?
It seemed messy though. This situation
But
seemed
she don't want to get into
But it
that.
seemed like Monique always getting in a lot of mess though.
But that's the problem.
But she don't want to get
She's
into
trying
the
to
mess.
redeem herself, but she don't want to get into the mess.
I was talking about you.
Oh, you talking about me? Oh, sorry.
She don't want to get into the mess.
Y'all are so
I love
funny.
me some tea. I'm a spill it. I just
She
Hey.
just want to
I don't feel no. I'm indifferent.
I want to be on y'all show. I want to be when y'all start talking about power. Invite me. I'm
Yes, we will.
I'm just gonna bust up in there.
That.
Don't even invite me. I'm just gonna bust up in there.
I'm just gonna
Y'all just be like, how you get in?
I would love that.
Yeah, but looks like time is running out. I want to thank both of you guys for coming on the show.
We appreciate the
CTD
invite.
interviews, Dummast interviews. Thank you for coming. Where can people find Shade in the City?
We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of those platforms at Shade, SHADE, in, like the letter N, the city.
See, you see how y'all just did that? Y'all hit the end together. That's, like I said, man, I love you guys' chemistry. I like the fact y'all on here drinking. That's amazing to me. That's what's up.
You know what? It's a Wednesday night. The finals
Wednesday
is going. I'm ignoring the game. I'm terrible.
Oh yeah, I need to go catch ESPN and watch some highlights.
Normally
the game
she
is over.
would have it on in the background.
But because we was doing an interview, professionalism,
Yeah, there you go. But again, I definitely just with everything, just welcome y'all to come back anytime. Check out the podcast. If y'all want to hop on a live podcast, y'all can do that. Even if it's just to pop y'all head in and say hello. If y'all see me live,
we would
just
love
hop
to.
in.
You need
Please,
to just let us involve ourselves in the entertainment portion.
Yes, and I'm gonna be waiting for them invites because I definitely want to hop on Shade in the City.
Thank you so much.
All right, yo, we are out. CTD interviews is out. I had Miss Trice, Nellz, Shade in the City. Please check them out. Great chemistry. Y'all will really enjoy it. All right, we out.
Thank you.
Peace.